We're joined up on stage by Coach Jamie Morrison, Logan Lednicki, Afina Casapala, and Kendall Stowers. Just same procedure as we've been going through. Coach will begin with an opening statement here. We'll move to questions for the student athletes, and then we'll wrap it up with questions specifically for Coach. We'll let you get it started.
Jared, where are you from?
Newton, Kansas.
All right, you threw a y'all out there. I didn't know if it was just making us feel home or. Yeah. Our team's a good volleyball team, and I'm just excited, and I said this earlier when I was having a couple other conversations, that we're getting to see the product of hard work. And I think last year we were playing in that same gym we were just in and came up 2 points short against Wisconsin, and I was in tears, and it was because my team gave me everything that they could possibly give me. And we came up 2 points short, and that's sport. But I think this year to see them see the fruition of that, not just the work this year, but the work over the 3 years since I took over this volleyball program, and to see it get here is an amazing thing, and it's not going anywhere.
Open up for questions. Start here.
These guys first, right?
Yeah, for the student athletes, yep.
Hey, y'all. Texan here, so. Yeah, Texas native. But this is Megan Hall with USA Today. This question is for Logan. You're essentially in the driver's seat now, of course, for a potential national championship. So my question is, what's the message that you've shared with your team about like how to keep that, like essentially that pedal to the floor?
Yeah, I think just not letting all the cool stuff that is this Final Four kind of distract us, right? Like there's we had the media this morning and a lot of cool other things to come, dinner tonight, but I think Jamie's talked about a lot, like we're here to play volleyball, that's our job. So honing in, focusing in practice, tuning up all the things that we need to get ready for the match tomorrow and then match Sunday.
This is for any of the players, Ian Curtis with the battalion. For any of y'all, what have the emotions been like coming off of that win, getting back the reception at Reed Arena, but having to kind of switch back into business mode for this Pitt match coming up?
I'll go. No, it was so cool. I mean, coming back, like you said, like after the Nebraska match to Reed Arena with like, I don't know how many hundred people standing there with our fat heads and cheering and stuff like that, like surreal experience, just kind of rounding out the success of like the Sweet 16 weekend, an Elite Eight game. But I think it's like a hard page turn, right? Like we had that off day. Monday, we all got a good reset, did all the recovery that we needed to do, and knew that we had work to get to prepare for a really good Pitt team. So got in, had a great practice on Tuesday at home, hopped on a flight here, and then I think had a really solid practice this morning, just kind of tuning up, like I said, some little things for the game tomorrow.
Abby Schnabel, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Logan, you and Olivia Babcock were the only two collegiate players that were on Team USA this past summer. What was that experience like as teammates, and does it add an extra element to this game for you?
If anything, I think it makes it more fun. Like I've talked about in some of the press so far, but like me and Liv are very close. I love her to death. When we walked in, I saw her in the hallway. We both screamed and gave each other a big hug and was just like so happy to see each other. So if anything, like Liv's the kind of teammate where like it would never be weird no matter the outcome of whatever this game. Like she has such a big heart and is so fun to be around. So if anything, I'm excited for the battle. She's a stud. And like we both have a lot of respect for each other. So it'll be really fun. And just like the experience I think that we had this summer kind of bonded us in that way.
Lee Feinsbach from 900 Square Feet. This is for Logan and Afena. Did you go back to 3 years ago when you found out Jamie was going to be your coach? Did you have any knowledge or perceptions of him, and what did you think of him getting that job? Not to where you are now, what you were then.
Yeah. I know for me, obviously, there's a bit like, there's an element of like, there's fear, there's worry, there's, just doubt, like you don't really know what's going on. Like just having basically the entire staff that wiped out and just like bringing in a new staff, like, will he want me? Like, am I good enough? Like just all these like wonders and things. And I know one of the first things he told us like was to just not worry about that, just to play our game. So I think it was really comforting in that aspect. And I think that definitely helped like who we are as players to come out and just come out so soon. Like I think we've just been improving every year since he's gotten here. Like that was our sophomore year when we first got here. It was like our first year back in the tournament. I mean, not the outcome we wanted. Our junior year, we're back in the tournament again, and we're just keep pushing it to new heights. So.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Jamie. He coached at Houston Skyline for 2 years. Yeah, a year. And when I was there, I would go in and practice with his team sometimes. So I kind of already had a good idea of like his coaching style. I mean, even me, like just coming in as a player to help in practice would push me just as hard as he did with his team. And yeah, like I knew what he kind of was coming in. And so if anything, I was really excited for what's to come and knew he could help build this program into what it is today.
PJ Green, Kansas City Star. Kendall, your story just coming back from retirement has captivated everyone in the volleyball community. What was the process like coming back for Ifena and Logan, if y'all want to chime in, just how did you see everyone supporting you once you made that decision to step up and step in?
Yeah, obviously it was a long journey. I moved home, wasn't a student or an athlete last fall, so I was at home. My brother plays football, so I was at a lot of his games traveling and just getting reps in at my old club, working out, doing as much as I could to make sure I still had the touch on the ball. And then December comes around and I got in the portal, decided I wanted to keep playing obviously at that point, and yeah, Jamie ended up calling one of my club coaches, and so I hadn't heard from him personally yet, though, so I texted him, and I was like, hey, like, I know you reached out to Johnny, but, like, is this, a possibility? And he was super excited about that, so I ended up planning a visit to go down 2 days later and saw everything and fell in love. My brother used to play football at A&M, too, so kind of already knew a little bit about the culture and all that stuff, but obviously meeting the volleyball staff and seeing what they were about in their program meant a lot to me, so yeah, fell in love with it and then committed 2 days later. And then, yeah, coming in, it was a warm welcome for sure. I felt at home the second I got there, not just these girls, but also the staff and also just the 12th man, like as a whole. I was there for about a week and people already knew me because of my brother. And they were like, hey, we're so excited to have you here. Like, we love you, blah, 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 all this stuff. And so literally every single person in the city of College Station, Brian, everywhere around was so excited to have me. And it was really just a warm welcome. And then like on the court, obviously these girls have some really good experience. I mean, they've been to Sweet 16, they've done all these things, and then obviously went to go play with USA. So they've definitely helped me out with, I feel like it didn't take too long, but kind of getting back into the swing of things of being a college athlete.
Hey, Megan Hall again with USA Today. This question is for Ifena. One of the things I've noticed about you, like after you get a block, you kind of walk away like nothing ever happened. Like it's just another day at the office. So how much joy do you take in your defensive course and being one of the lead middle blockers in the country?
Yeah, I will say now, like, it is really fun. Like, it's a momentum turner, just getting a block. I will say my blocking game is, like, one of the things that I've been working on, like, for the longest. Like, I remember, like, 2-3 years ago, I used to hate blocking. Blocking drills would come up. Like, I would suck my teeth. I'd roll my eyes. But, like, I mean, as I've gotten better at it, like, it is more fun. And just being able to, of course, like, have strong pins to close to, like, they make my job easier. And then, in turn, the defense behind us, like, it makes everybody's job easier. And I think that's why we flow so well. But yeah, blocking's like so much fun. I would say, not that I'm like kind of used to it by now, but now like there's like just such a high standard that I set for myself defensively that like I should be doing these things, so I'm glad that they bring momentum for my team and like it gets us going. But like for me, it's just like, okay, yeah, like should have been doing this anyway, but yeah.
For Logan and Ifena, what do you think the rise of this program and this tournament run has done for the growth of the sport of volleyball, especially in Texas?
Yeah, I think it's huge, especially, I don't know, with how much the 12th man in College Station, like they love athletics. I think having that pedestal already for volleyball like has helped grow it even more outside the eyes of A&M, if that makes sense. Just like reaching to other people. So no, I mean, I'm happy, like it's a blessing to be a part of this, and hopefully, after we're gone with our time at A&M, like it can just keep growing.
And I think just to second to that, I mean, our Nebraska match, like really big game. Like I think I was even just seeing us like on my Instagram Explore page this morning, like it reached like how many like million people? Okay, yeah, like it was just a lot. So just seeing that and seeing that that's like the work and the stuff that like we put in as players and like the staff puts into us, that just like we're just able to, like Jamie says, like we're just able to like just let it out to the world and just show the world who we are, and just for them to be able to enjoy it and just be so engaged in our games and just watch great volleyball, like it means a lot.
Lincoln Arneal, Volleyball State. Kendall, you touched on this a little bit in your answer, but when you said you were sitting at home, were you playing much volleyball a year ago? And what was your decision process to get back into the game? And then to be here 1 year later, what is that realization like?
Yeah. So when I was at home, it was weird because obviously I can't play with any colleges. I couldn't play at Baylor because I was medically retired, and can't go play anywhere else because that's just not legal, obviously. So then the option is high school. And so I was practicing with I wasn't really practicing with them, but like going in the gym at my old high school, and then my old high school coach is now coaching at South Lake, so I would sometimes go down there, and then was at my club, TAV, and Johnny and like literally any of the coaches at TAV were so amazing then. Just like getting in with lessons and making sure I got touches. The one thing that I really wasn't able to do much of was play sixes. So that was kind of that learning curve that took me a little bit when coming back in the spring. But I was playing as much as I could. It's kind of hard because everyone's in season. So sometimes it was literally just me alone in a gym serving or self-toss hitting, like random stuff like that, out of system setting. Like there was only so much I could do. But just making sure I kept the touch on the ball. And the decision took a lot of time. It wasn't an easy one. There was an initial thought of like, maybe I should just be done with this. It was a crazy series of events. So I went back and forth on it a lot, and it was a really difficult decision to make. But when I moved home, I was with my family a lot, and everyone just encouraged me to keep praying about it because the Lord ultimately has a plan. And so kind of had this stir in my heart that like I just knew I had to keep playing. And like anytime I thought I wanted to stop, it was like I was trying to convince myself to stop. Like I knew deep down I wanted to keep going. So I stuck with that, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. That fall was really hard. But also I think the family time and everything, and also honestly having a little break from volleyball. Like my family was a sports family. I've played sports since I literally was 3, and that was the only time I haven't done anything. So I think it was a really good reset, and it made me like fall in love with volleyball again. And then fast forward a year ago today, I was sitting on my couch watching the Final Four being played, and now here I am playing in it. Like that is so insane to me. And I really don't have any words for it other than like I feel like that just proves how faithful the Lord is. Because I couldn't have done that myself. Like, one, put myself in that position, and then 2, come back and now have this amazing season, go beat Nebraska at like in their house, and now go play in the Final Four. Like it's just surreal.
Got a few more questions. I'm going to try to get to all of you.
Logan, going back to your connection with Olivia, how do you feel like you guys pushed each other to become better players over this past summer?
Yeah, obviously that's really tough being the youngest player in such an elite gym surrounded by Olympians and just amazing volleyball players. So it was really good having her there, just from like a balance perspective and kind of, some grounding sometimes, like a rough day at the gym, like just being able to bounce ideas off of her and just being able to kind of vent or whatever you need in the moment. And especially traveling too. Getting to experience Rio and Serbia with her was just such an amazing, fun experience too. And she's such a good teammate. Like it was never, because we're both opposites. Like technically we are competing, but it was never like bad blood, anything like that. If anything, it was more like helpful. Like if she saw something that I needed, I saw something that she needed. Like that was our relationship in the gym, which I thought was really cool because like that doesn't always happen, especially being the same age, competing, only 2 college, but all that stuff. So no, it was a really like special kind of teammate bond I feel like that we had.
Kay Nagley, TexAgs. For Logan and Afena, the last match against Nebraska just seemed like it was just a very balanced attack. Just everyone doing everything. It really felt like all of the team was contributing in that one. Can you just kind of talk about bringing that balanced attack into the Final Four and how anyone on any given night can have a good game?
Yeah, I think that's like honestly the best thing about our team is that we have the balance and we have the depth. Because as we go deeper into this tournament, like you need the balance. Like one person might be off, one person might be on. Like any given night, like you said, anyone can go off. And so even like within a match, like, I mean, I feel like I started out a little slow in the Nebraska match, kind of gained momentum towards the end, like ebbs and flows throughout the match like that. And I think like Maddie does such an amazing job putting the balls up and creating splits for us in the block. And so, yeah, no, I mean, it's huge just being able to have this balance going this far in the tournament.
Yeah, I would have just said the same thing and just given Maddie props, you know, since she's not here. Yeah, she just does a great job running our offense. Again, like she said, just keeping all of our shoulders warm, finding splits in the block for us. She's a great setter, honestly, like elite setter.
A few more for the athletes, and then we'll move to Coach.
Kendall, you're not a doctor, but you know it's been talked about so much, and it looks so weird, the thing you wear around your neck. Can you talk about that some?
Yeah. So, no, this is really funny. And I don't know, I just like telling the story. So, multiple people obviously have asked me that. I mean, it's starting to become a little bit more normal in volleyball, but it's mainly in football, and they have so many pads on you can't even see them. Someone came up to me one time and was like, "Oh, I thought it was like music, like playing." I was like, "Oh, right, okay." I mean, that would be dope, but no. No, it's literally just basically like a piece of rubber, but it's like kind of fitted to your neck, so you have to like measure it to make sure like it fits to like a precise amount of pressure that it's putting on your jugular veins that run like obviously right there in the middle of your neck. But it basically just puts the perfect amount of pressure on it to where it increases the blood pressure around your brain and like in your skull cavity, so that if you do get hit, that blood pressure basically is just giving your brain a little bit of a pillow between, or it's putting a pillow between your brain and your skull. So if you do get hit, there's not as much impact. And honestly, I mean, I've been wearing it for about 1.5 years, and I've like obviously been perfectly fine since then. So it's a crazy thing that they have invented. No, just when I'm playing.
And do you have any repercussions from the concussions and stuff still, or are you okay?
Yeah, no. So I did for a little bit when I was off. It was like 1.5 years ago in summer, and someone told me to go see a neuropsychologist. And basically, they do a lot of like therapy. It's like VOM stuff. It's a lot of eye tracking and all these different things. And I don't know all of the research to it. Yes, literally that. I don't know all of the exact research behind it, but you basically keep doing it until all of those symptoms are reversed. So I have 0 symptoms left after everything. And I know of a lot of other stories of people who have had some pretty bad like brain trauma and stuff, and they're stuck with like migraines, headaches, dizziness, all this different stuff. But that treatment has literally gotten rid of all of it. So.
Go up here. Right up here.
Hi, Lindsay Harwood with Side Out Society. I saw your practice this morning where you all jumped onto the court together. Could you talk about the mentality behind that and any other game day superstitions or routines you do as players on and off the court to get yourself ready in such a high pressure environment?
Honestly, I think it just started as a joke. Like we were in Nebraska, yeah. No, it might have been at home. It was Nebraska, I think. The Louisville game. Yeah, I mean, right?
It is. I mean,
whatever.
Either way,
regardless. I think it's more of just like a funny thing. Like, I feel like our team is very silly, for lack of better terms. Like, well, obviously we're very serious about what we do, but also don't take a lot of other things serious. And like, I think that's what makes it so fun, is like doing stupid stuff like that with each other and laughing about it. So now it's kind of become a routine because obviously we've kept winning. So yeah.
We kind of just started it in the tournament because in the tournament there's a lot of like things with when you have to start your practice, and there's a very specific, like it's down to the second. And so we have to do our warm up on the outside of the court. And so once that timer hit 0, we're like, okay, we can step on. And we all just one day randomly lined up, held hands, and jumped together, and we've done it ever since. So yeah, it's a fun thing. And we don't really have too many superstitions. We just have our little like hype circle thing we do in the locker room before we run out. And like everyone has their own kind of little random stuff. I used to do a lot, and then everyone started making fun of me for being superstitious. So I actually got rid of all of them the day we played Nebraska. I know that's the craziest thing ever, but I didn't do any of my superstitions when we played Nebraska. So I'm just going to get rid of them.
Yeah, literally. There we go.
Take it.
We'll PJ here, and then let the student athletes go.
for Afena and Kendall. I know just throughout volleyball, there's plenty of black girls coming up through the ranks, and especially Afena with African descent. There's been more and more, especially outside hitters. I remember some at Pitt the past few years and things like that. Is that something that y'all keep track of and encourage young black girls to do when you see them out in the crowds and things like that?
Yeah, I know that whenever I get the chance, whenever they want to take pictures or ask me how I started or anything about my journey, really, I'm just so eager to tell them because just instilling in them like really young that what we're doing, we all were like you at one point. We were young with big dreams of like doing exactly what we're doing now, just, instilling in them that, just have fun, work hard, like what you're seeing now is very possible. Like in a couple years, you could be sitting where I'm sitting right now. And just making sure that they know that their dreams are they're not too big. Like, no dreams are too big. So.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Awesome. We'll let you three go.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Cool, thanks.
Perfect.
You trust me alone?
I guess we'll find out. We'll start things out with questions for Coach.
Elizabeth Merrill, ESPN. Jamie, could you walk through the steps you had to take to make sure that Kendall was ready to play, medically cleared? And just for clarification, she was involuntarily medically retired just at Baylor, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't something she had to go through the NCAA.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the NCAA. It was just at Baylor. And I've said this, and I think I've said it publicly, just how much I respect our medical team and the amount of work that they put into this. And it's twofold. One, to give her back the thing that she loves, the ability to play this game. And the second piece is to make sure that she's safe. And they really poured through everything. It was every single test, every single objective, subjective measure that went through there, whether it be a doctor's note or an objective test that happened. It went back and basically came back and said, like, I don't know if I'm just going to go with this, that she is safe to go play. And they did it over the course, I think, of 4 nights, and it was probably, I'm going to guess, about 60 hours of pouring through. Again, imagine every single note that a doctor had made to come back to the point where she's cleared to play. And that was really the process. And what was the second piece of the question?
Was wearing the Q collar part of the...
Yeah. So like to what you said, the other piece was a very honest conversation between her and I. That like her life is in my hands, and it can't be if you have a symptom, like I can't not know about it, and it has to be that. And I do a lot of research, and I'll do even more research if it has to do with the health and safety of the people that I love and care about. So I went through and kind of looked at it, and I talked to Sherry Walters, who's in charge of our sports medicine department, and we talked a lot, and I just educated myself on concussions and the two most and this beneficial things, and I'm happy that I think this is raising awareness of a Q collar, but the two things that really came back are creatine use and Q collar. And I just said, you have to do these two things religiously because, again, your life is in my hands of us saying yes to this. So, and she has been, and again, part of it also, when I went to our sports medicine department, it was, and the recruiting process and that phase is so quick, but you just get feelings and gut reactions about people. And I just told them, I have a feeling that this is the type of person that's going to treat all of this seriously, that's going to take care of it. This isn't a joke. And she's absolutely lived up to that.
PJ Green, Kansas City Star coach. My y'all comes from Georgia, by the way.
Glad I've started to think.
Right. So I know Triple Crown is in Kansas City every year, but kind of where on the totem pole is the Kansas City and Kansas, Missouri area in terms of recruiting? Like, how much do college coaches, want to get to Kansas City to find players?
A lot. There's a lot of good club volleyball here, and there's a lot of good athletes here. So we're here a lot, and obviously Triple Crown is, the event that kicks everything off at the beginning of the year, and the recruiting calendar used to start right there just so we could go to it, and I think every elite team is here. So there obviously starts there, but then there's a lot of talent. And you have these hotbeds that are around the country, and this is for sure one of them. And again, like it's a metropolis, but you got a lot of clubs on different sides of the city that are producing a lot of talent. So I was up here probably 6 times last year would be my guess.
Coach, you mentioned being close to Dan. How did that relationship start, and what does it mean to coach against him on a big stage like this?
Yeah, first it sucks. I think everyone kind of sees what happens out there and it doesn't, I don't know, pay attention to the human element. One, that they're student athletes and just finished finals on Tuesday, and two, that what we do is really hard, and three, that we have to go up and play against friends that have to turn off all emotions for and go battle for 2.5 hours and then go give a hug of, hey, I'm sorry I knocked you out of this tournament. And that's happened up until this point of this. So he's close. I actually don't really, I think probably through USA. I think if I remember correctly, I invited them over to my house when I was coaching with USA as an assistant, and they were coaching a U19 team or something like that. This is the first time we met, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's just been kind of a friendship that's grown. My wife, Kim, went to Pitt, was a volunteer assistant there. So when I came back from the Netherlands, I was actually out there for 2 months. So we talked volleyball a lot. We talked leadership. It was nice, I think, for him to have someone that sat in his chair, because I think as a head coach, it gets really lonely sometimes, because you're the one having to hold everybody accountable to everything, and that's a lonely place to be. So I think to be able to kind of close the door and have a conversation with someone that understands it, I think was huge. And just through that, it's been a friendship that's lasted, I don't even know how many years, but it's probably going on 10, 12, 15, something like that. And we're going to battle. Like, that's just who we are. It's the way we teach our teams to do it too. And it was the same for me last weekend, or playing against, I don't know, everybody that we played against. I was really close with all 4 coaches that were in that quad. And then the Nebraska team, I was close with half the team. But you got to turn that off for 2 hours and have enough respect to go after it, and then afterwards give some hugs, which I did at that time too.
Jamie, I don't
The
know how
suspense is
long-
killing me.
Yeah, I don't know how long ago we met, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You've always seemed like a nice guy.
I appreciate that.
And everybody always said, Jamie Morrison, man, he can coach. Jamie Morrison's like a guru. And nobody would hire you. You came down, you were finalists, you didn't get jobs, and it went on for a long time.
Yep.
Why? And what do you think about that now?
I'll answer the first question. It fuels me every day. It's in the back of my head, and my wife and I talked about it when we qualified for the Final Four. Just that, again, that fuel is something that I think has gotten me here. The why piece, I don't think coaching is valued enough in coaching anymore, and I think that's a silly thing. But I don't think anybody values that. And at the time, I was told I wouldn't be able to recruit. And at the end of the day, I came in with this nervousness that I wasn't going to be able to recruit. But it turns out recruiting is about creating relationships, which happens to be one of my specialties. So again, and I love that process. Like, there's so many recruits that I don't know that we've gone through this with that I've gotten really connected with, and some of them have said yes, and some of them have said no. And the ones that have said no, I still want to be connected with. I think the thing that I hate about this job, not that I hate, I understand the rules, so it's not like I'm going against these, but you go play professionally, and you're going around and you're playing all these people that you can still be friends with, that you can have conversations with, that you can joke with, you can banter with. And you go into college and you get to know these athletes throughout the recruiting process, and you have to shut that off completely. And if they have something that happens in their life, I've had, I don't know, players with the U19 team who've lost a parent, and then I'm not allowed to reach out. Like, that's really, really hard. So the relationship piece I turned out to be pretty good at. And again, like, to go back, like, it fuels me. To prove people wrong, to make sure that, I don't know, I'm doing everything that I can every single day to make sure that I'm hopefully proving I'm one of the best at what I do.
Abby Schnabel, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Jamie, being friends with Dan, what's it been like watching him, take this Pitt program to 5 straight Final Fours, and what does that say about him as a coach?
Yeah, I was there the last time they weren't in the Final Four, and I gave him a hug, and I said, "You're really good at what you do," and I said, "You're going to get past the second round at that point." I know that was the roadblock, and it's not a surprise to me. And he's really good at what he does. He's a good dude. He's a good human being. He treats his athletes well. So it's no shock, and it's been fun. And I think our sport gets very closed off sometimes, where everyone thinks that what they does is like the magic fairy dust is going to make people good. And if you go coach internationally, it's a lot of sharing of information. It's a lot of sitting down and having a drink and talking about volleyball. And for Dan and I, it's kind of stayed that way. And again, hopefully I don't regret that now that we're playing him in here. But it's been kind of an open dialogue and talking about the game. And I think, again, that's been lost in this, that it's okay for us to be friends. It's okay for us to share. It's okay for us to love the game that we love and have conversations with other people that love the game that we love. So I think there's a select few of us that we're kind of open about things, that we have conversations. I don't know, let people into our gyms, and we'll sit down and just talk shop or talk life and just make sure. I think Dan and I probably 4 or 5 times throughout the season just called each other and said, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like, it's a mid-season check-in. Like, what we do is hard. And I got a group of people that have kind of all done that for us, each other, throughout the season.
Dylan Watkis, KBTX News. Some Aggie fans are traveling near and far to be here for the Final Four. What does that mean to you to know that you have a support group traveling to come and watch you in this game?
Everything. And I chose Texas A&M because of the potential of what I thought it could be. I think there's some people that raised their eyebrows, but I saw where college athletics was going in terms of resources, and I wanted to be in a place that could fall in love with the game the way that I've seen, for example, where I was in Nebraska just now. And we're building that. Our attendance was 5th in the country this year. Like, people are clamoring for season tickets right now. I'm probably going to push our administration to open those up earlier so we can take advantage of this right now. But we're building this hunger for the game, and I think with that becomes a fan base that is very, very passionate and will travel. And I think we're just seeing the beginning of it. So it means the world to me that they're here. But again, I really do think it's just the beginning. I think people, and I'm going to say this, just, I'm such a fan of our game. I think it's the most beautiful game in the world. It's a mix of power, strength, grace, technique. You get all of these pivotal moments. Like usually at 25, we decided to go to 37. But you get all of these amazing opportunities for like people to experience emotion throughout it. And you get these breaks of 15 seconds for people to come together. It's such a team sport. And again, I wanted to be a part of a fan base that loves athletics, and the 12th man does. And now they're starting to love volleyball. So the fact that they're traveling here and spending their well-earned money to come here and be loud the way that they are. And again, like, I can talk about numbers and attendance, but I don't think there's a more vocal group in the country that is going to be rooting us on and trying to impact the game in a positive way for their Aggies.
All right, running a bit short on time here. I'm going to give preference to those who haven't asked a question yet. We'll try to get.
Lincoln O'Neill, Volleyball State. Speaking of attendance and fans, a lot of people from Nebraska had tickets this weekend too. Some got rid of them, some are still coming. What case would you make, even though it may be a little raw and fresh, why they should root for you?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you always want the team that beat you to go to the end, so there's a logic. I would say this: these girls are easy to cheer for. Like, they're connected, they love one another, they work hard, they play an exciting brand of volleyball. They connect with people off the court, not just because they have to. Like, every Sunday we have kids come down and get autographs, and they'll spend extra time out there. And just, they're amazing human beings before they're amazing volleyball players, but it turns out they're also really entertaining to watch. So yeah, that's my answer.
Coach Chase Madison, 1011 News from Lincoln. Just didn't want to ask the same exact question, but just beating Nebraska on Sunday, beyond making the history of making a Final Four, just what did, from a public scope, just the waves it did for Texas A&M? And I guess similarly, do you think Nebraska can kind of look at you guys as a great story and somebody to cheer for to get it done?
I don't know the answer on the second one. Actually, I do know the answer on the second one. The thing I've always respected about Nebraska fans is they appreciate good volleyball. And it hasn't always been about, being violent towards the other team. Like, if you make a good play, they're going to cheer for you. So, yeah, I think they can appreciate what we did. I think going back and, again, I watched that match. I was looking forward to it. In the middle of the fourth set, I was like, I can't wait to watch this back on TV. I don't care if we win or lose. This is entertaining. So it was good volleyball, and I think they're going to go back and look at that. What was the first part of the question? Repeat it for me. Public scope. It's funny because my team makes fun of it. I always start off practice with "We are here," as in like, "Hey, we're here to go meet." And I think as I'm get chilled, like, we're here, like we're on the public landscape. We're going to be a program that's going to be a contender for a long time to come. And again, I came here to build this into this. It's not. This isn't be here at the Final Four this one time, but build this as a common household name within the game of volleyball. And I think it's just that. I think people are seeing that we can develop athletes. We had athletes that were here from the very beginning of this that maybe weren't the most highly recruited at the time, but we built them into Final Four contenders, into All-Americans. Our administration is pumping resources into our program, and that's going to be one of the most important things, and again, why I came. We have a fan base that's going to show up, and people want to be around a program where people care, where it matters, where people know your name, where they're going to show up, they're going to be vocal at matches, and I think we have all of it now. So if I were to answer that question, we are here.
We'll go last question right here.
You obviously have a good coaching staff, but specifically bringing in Lindsey Gray Walton, someone with her resume, what she did at Kentucky, then experience as a Power Four head coach. What has she brought to the table, and what does she mean to the equation?
Yeah, I'll hit on Lindsay, but I got to say the whole thing. I really do. You're a product of good people around you, and the only reason why I'm sitting here right now is them, and the fact that I think as a leader, I give autonomy to the people around me. I put them in places that they're going to be really good and let them go. But one of the things I was sure of when I took this job, going back to what I talked about with Dan Fisher earlier, is I wanted someone who had sat in my seat, that understands the pressures that come along with it, how hard it is to be able to go have a conversation about, I don't know, my relationship at times and how this causes struggles there. Like, she's been that person for me from the very beginning. And then she's a rock star of a volleyball coach, and then just her ability to connect with people recruiting. And she's actually the perfect yin and yang. Like, we are like literally perfect around each other, because like we can get around to recruit and connect in two completely different ways. But I think it makes people feel completely connected to our program. And that just doesn't stop there. Like, I'm going to go my entire staff, and this is all the way down, and I'll give some public praise. I think the people that don't give as much credit at the Final Four is, I'm going to throw this, Caitlin Corbett, our Director of Operations, just turning around from a Sunday at 2 o'clock match to getting 109 people here, checked into a hotel, and everything that comes along with it. But I will say, with my entire staff, I trust them to have an open door with any of our athletes. They're going to connect to somebody to be able to go into one of those, close the door, and have a conversation, and be able to tell me, hey, this is what you need to know, or just be there as a shoulder to, I don't know, lean on when somebody needs it. But my staff is everything. Lindsay's a piece of it, but I just want to make sure I give them all props too.